My name's Ben Friend, I'm an event manager for the Football Association and I studied football business and marketing at UCFB. As an event manager for the FA, I sit within the FA events team. We actually sit within the operations division of the wider FA. Our kind of sole purpose is to lead on the match organisation of FA events, so anything from senior women's games to England 21s games that we take on the road, or games here at Wembley, England senior games, FA Cup final. We also look after the Community Shield, the FA Vars, FA Trophy finals and the Women's FA Cup final. Our day-to-day routine is very different actually depending on the time of year. So obviously with the football season we tend to go through peaks, international breaks for example, September, October, November we're very busy with England games, and then when it comes to April, May we're pretty chock with competitions and finals coming in. There's two sides to our job, there's a lot of planning that goes into it, so I'd say day to day throughout the planning of an event there's a lot of administration, a lot of meetings that go on, site visits with stadiums or team visits and planning meetings with clubs or participating clubs. Then obviously you get the side of it that's kind of on site, so I'd say from match day -2 to match day you're pretty full on, running around, getting things set, making sure checks are happening, briefings are happening. So there's kind of two sides to what our day-to-day life looks like. I haven't always wanted to work in events. It's not something that I necessarily knew that was even a thing, whether it's in sport or obviously other more corporate side of it that a lot of people go into. By studying football business and marketing, I kind of knew the side of the sport that I wanted to be involved in. I think more as I was doing my work experience, that's probably when I started to realise actually events is something that really interests me. Being in an environment like the FA as an intern while I was at UCFB is something that I kind of saw that side of it, and I think from there I'd say midway through my studies is when I realised actually that's what I want to go into, so I'm quite lucky that I've been able to do that. Studying football business and marketing is something that has really benefited me throughout sort of when I started and even now. We draw back a lot, we work really closely with sort of marketing, commercial and those departments as well. All the way through the event planning and on event days itself, making sure their activations are going well. I'd say the most important traits for a career in sport on this side of it would just be a bit cliche, but maybe passion. I just think if you're passionate about what you do, and I think the whole point of somewhere like UCFB is that you have the opportunity to go and study and learn and thrive in an environment that you do care about and you do love. At least if you're working in that, it kind of comes naturally to you. It's an easy thing to say, but you do kind of go into, in my role for example, into events or you see it all come together and you do feel proud and passionate about what you're doing, so that is obviously a trait that's important. So my highlights at UCFB, there's plenty of them across the years I was there, whether it's studies or the sport that we did and the football team and things like that. I think the standout would definitely be the placement that I did. I did an internship at Orlando City over in Florida. That alongside the other work experience I did, for example, I did 2 stints here with the stadium as an intern, again through UCFB. I think the advice I'd give to incoming UCFB students would just be to be open-minded. It's quite a specific environment to learn in, obviously being within sport and football, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're kind of limited to one thing anyway. It's such a wide-ranging industry that you just have to be open-minded, and what you might not have even been aware there's opportunities out there or things that you can go into. Just kind of take any opportunity you can to work more or study more or learn.